What, my lord? This this episode was brought to you by Rice and Peas.
Oh, that's good.
I'm under your breast like peas and rice.
Once again, it's on. We back. It was All a Dream podcast. We have a special guest, man. A very special guest.
Legend.
Miss Shelly Shell.
Legend.
Definitely legend. Definitely a legend. Philadelphia legend. I'm
You elated right now. I'm elated too.
I'm gone.
Well, you already know what it is. We back again. It was All a Dream podcast. They call me Dutchie. Got my man Siege in the building with me.
In the
Got
building.
DJ Black out in the building
Already
per
know.
usual. And we have the world-renowned beginning of Philadelphia's journey into the multimedia journalist world.
Used to keep my TV on mute at
The
night.
queen
My mom would catch
of hip-hop digital world in Philly, Shelly Shell. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I gotta give you not the flowers, but I need to give you the garden. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna give you the garden because
definitely.
you know, me personally, I appreciate everything that you've done for the youth, everything that you've done for the music community in Philadelphia, which it was people like yourself that made CEOs of big companies come to Philadelphia looking for artists. I know that Baby from Cash Money has mentioned watching, you know, you guys would transfer over to DVDs when people would just tape your shows, and that's how he would figure out who certain artists were.
But like I told her before, to us, she was our Ralph McDaniels. I know a lot of New York cats had video music box. We had Urban Expressions in Philly.
Yeah.
So like, I'm honored to be sitting here with you right now because like you part of all our childhood. That
For
grew
sure,
up in the
for sure,
90s
man.
and the 2000s. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if you didn't turn to channel 48 when you was young, you really didn't understand what was going on. They were the first to give, I don't like to say local artists, but the artists from your hometown a light.
No doubt.
You know, I know you hear this all the time from everybody that you run into, but coming from me, I love you for doing what you did for me. You know, you didn't have to reach out some of those times when you reached out to us and give us that extra push that we needed, because look at what's going on now. Everything is virtual. You know, you actually, y'all guys were way ahead of y'all time.
Yeah, no doubt.
With you know, with the skits and, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just shout out to Urban Expressions.
Word on the streets.
Yeah,
You know
in
what I'm
its
saying?
entirety. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Thank you.
like, oh man, where do we start, y'all? Where do we start?
I mean, we start from the beginning. I always like to learn the foundation of things.
Yeah,
Like,
so
where did Urban Expressions? I know Edward Brunson, he owned it, and so he paved the way. But like, give us a story of how it started.
Well, I mean, like you said, Ed Brunson was the founder of it, but his mother is the one that owned the TV station. She was the first African-American woman in the nation to own a TV station. She came from picking cotton. Literally, she was a older woman. She picked cotton, and she went from picking cotton to owning a TV station, radio station. She was the first, and Oprah Winfrey even acknowledged her as one of the people who paved the way for her. So Ed, he came under his mom. She gave him a time slot, and he did what he had to do with it. He knew Ralph McDaniels, since you mentioned him.
Right.
He knew that. He knew how to do it, and I just was underneath of Ed, but that's how I started. I started out as an intern, and I don't like working for free. And that's just not my thing, you know what I mean? So it was like, oh, intern, how we gonna make some money? You know what I mean? That's really how I got, like, once I saw everybody loved being on TV. I'm not really at that point, I wasn't one of those people who wanted to be seen. I just wanted to make money. So I just came up with the ways to make money.
no, you did. You did. I remember Oh man, in the beginning, before we even, Major Figures, we started doing interviews with you. Y'all already had a format. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it was like you would get an interview with y'all and then go home and turn 48 on to watch yourself on TV, because our mothers wouldn't get a chance to see us if it wasn't for Urban Expressions. And I mean, yeah, we ended up on, BET and MTV and stuff like that. But to, from home, if you didn't end up on Urban Expressions, you wasn't lit. It's just like being on Power 99. You know what I'm saying? Like if you wasn't on your home station, you wasn't lit. So, when people are doing their marketing run and stuff like that, they had to come to Philly to go to Urban Expressions, Power 99, 103.9. It was no 103 to beat or none of that.
Right.
It was 103.9 and WDAS and stations like that.
And it was dope interviews. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't wait for Saturday night to see who was going to be on, who was going, you know what I'm saying?
Because they and it was real.
Yeah, it was
definitely
real.
And I want to just compliment you on your journalism skills. You know what I'm saying? Not too many people can sit there and make an artist comfortable enough to speak about what they're going through, because it wasn't just, give us a drop, or, you know what I'm saying, something like that. It was actual interviews of you sitting there with these people right after either before they got on stage or after they got off. And man, I just, like I said, I really love what you've done and love what you're doing, and I'm glad you're still with us and still pushing the culture.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because Urban Expressions was so, I believe, iconic to the people. There's no way to let it go, right? Why would I? It would be so unfair of me to just let it go. Even though Ed was the founder, I took over in 2004 as the owner, executive producer, and it was like, there's no way I'm letting it go, because it became something that was inside of me. It's like, yo, this is what I do. This is who I am. Even though I didn't found it, but it was like something it was like, wait a minute, it just changed my life in general. It's not like I was really not looking to be on television, but it was like, yo, I'm changing. The border was changing people's lives. It was putting people on. It was,
and all of the hosts were dope.
I love them all.
Like y'all had skits. Y'all had
Keith from Up the Block. We got to give him the...
Oh yeah, that's why I was going. That's why I was segueing into Keith now doing comedy, and but he was already there with the skits. Like he would take anybody's record and make you cry laughing at it. So big shout out to Keith from Up the Block.
So you had no media training prior to going on there?
No media training. I just went to school for business. I was all about the business. That's all I wanted to do. I love business. I still do. That's what I do to this day.
Right.
It's all about the business. So when I came in, I was just like, well, this is how I can do this, and this is the way I'm going to do this.
Right.
And Keith, we were the perfect complement to each other. He was the comedy and the fun, and I was like, listen, I'm gonna go here and make the money, and we put these two things together, and we're gonna make, we're gonna hit the streets.
Right.
And so, and that was it. It was just a great combination of people putting together. But once you get there, you learn it, right? I called it Urban Expressions University. Instead of I could have gone and gotten a master's and doctorate, which I'm getting ready to get my doctorate, but I could have done all of that. But I was like, no, I'd rather get in the grind and figure out how to do it. And I'm going to learn from everybody. I'm going to listen to some people, and I'm going to just be like this. I'm going to be a sponge. And everything I learn is like, all right, I did it. I did this by hands-on. Hands-on. You have to, because that was my goal. That was definitely my goal. Right. It's not like nobody came before me and said, hey, this is how you run a TV show. And I'm like, but I said, how you make the money.
So how long did Urban Expressions, for the people who don't know, how long did it last?
Well, it started in 1992, and in 2013, we just morphed into digital. So we were still here, still doing it. I did interviews, whoever, Kevin Hart, Ice Cube, whoever came to town. I was still doing it under the Urban Expressions, but we were doing it digital. We just weren't on a broadcast station.
Now, you said you started as an intern. How did it feel being an intern and then just transitioning over to interviewing the Ice Cubes and the Kevin Harts of people who we would look at all the time? Like, and you were always so calm interviewing these people. Like, it's just like was second nature for
That's
you.
why I thought she had media training prior.
No media training.
You did a great job.
So,
I didn't even have a desire.
No media training at all, and you sitting there with Ice Cube and you're that comfortable?
Because I like people. Like I have a desire to know. Like I want to ask you questions. Like the hardest thing is to be interviewed when you
Right.
when you got questions for somebody else. You like, I want to ask you this.
Right,
I want to know because I
right,
really genuinely
right,
want to know how you
right.
got started, what you doing. I really want to know who you are. But it wasn't one of those things that I'm an introvert, like for real. You may not know it, but I'm a shy introvert. So when we started doing Urban Expressions, I was in the back, like, don't look at me. Don't talk to me. Please don't look at me. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be seen. But for some reason, I kept being pulled. Not me. I didn't pull myself to, but I kept being pushed to the front. And I'm like, this is not where I want to be. That's not where I want to be. But then God had
But
it.
it worked out.
God had it His way, and He was like, "Oh, we're gonna push it. I know what I got for you. I know."
Who was
what
the
you gonna
first
do."
celebrity you had to interview?
Oh God, that was horrible. My first, man, that was bad. It was my first. My first interview was Avant, and it was we had like we had the young lady. Her name was Dawn, and she was supposed to be on her way, but she got caught up in traffic, and she was like, "I can't make it." I was like, "What you mean you can't make it? Who gonna do the interview?" You the only one here. Who else gonna do the interview? Now I don't know who gonna.
So
do
you
this.
had to do.
So I
the
was like,
interview,
I have to do this. So I sat there, and you got a microphone in your hand, and I got the microphone, and I never even looked at the man. I was like, "This, what's your name? Why you here? And who is doing it?" And I just did not look at him, and then they clowned me. Right? They clowned me so hard. It was just like, yo.
You said it ain't gonna happen like
and I
this.
said, you
no
will
more.
never, ever catch me slipping again. And that's where me came in. That's where the media part came in. That's when I was like, I'm studying, I'm growing. You ain't gonna never tease me again. 50 grand, I get it in one take. That's who I was from that day forward.
Okay.
So here at It Was All a Dream, we have like a subscriber based like fan base. Like a lot of the people who subscribe to the channel, the comments are where we get a lot of feedback from. So for them, I want to know your top 5 interviews that you've ever done.
Oh, that's hard for me. Top 5. I can't go by top 5. I go by love. Like I'ma always say Kango Kid because he is my dearest friend. He passed on, but the people who I believe that became my friends and stayed my friends. So I would say Kango Kid. I'ma say
Who is people for people who don't know who Kango Kid is? Who is he?
Kango Kid is a legendary from UTFO, Untouchable Force Unlimited, and then he had Roxanne. So Kango Kid was one of the most amazing human beings you ever want to meet, like literally.
Salute to Kango Kid.
So
he's one of them pioneers.
he's
hip-hop
one of those pioneers, not just a pioneer, just a good person.
No,
like,
if you really Google him though, bro, I know who he is.
Right,
because,
right.
just from being around, just the business, that Kango Kid started a lot of trends.
Okay,
you know what
okay.
I'm saying? Always
He
wore
did.
Kangos all the
Right.
time. Just was a
he started that whole, getting some sponsorships deals, right? He was the first Haitian American rapper. He just set a lot of trends, but because I like good people. So
Okay, so
I'm gonna go.
Kango Kid.
Kango Kid was a great person. I love. Of course, I'm gonna say Major Figures because you know what?
man.
Not just because you hear, because I'm a relationship person.
Yeah.
I'm not a trend person. I'm not a yo, you this. It's relationships. I got relationships with Major Figures. I got relationships with State Property. I got relationships with these people. Whoever I got a relationship with, like we stayed cool. DJ Cool in the house and I'm ready to
Oh,
go
man.
because we got a relationship.
I remember
R.I.P.
those, like
DJ Cool.
like I remember those interviews, and I love. Matter of fact, the "Let Me Clear My Throat" video was actually shot.
Shahir.
At,
Bahama Bay.
right? Yeah,
Bahama Bay. Yep.
Wow.
Bahama Bay. Bahama Bay.
Bahama
Yep.
Bay used to be popping back in the day.
Yo,
One
listen,
of them.
let me tell you
One of
this.
them. One of them.
I ain't gonna get into it, but I got about 3 kids from Bahama
Bahama
Bay.
Bay.
Sheesh.
That's crazy.
Bahama Bay was, like.
I can't lie. I married somebody I met. In
Did
Bahama
you?
Bay.
That's
crazy.
Yeah, my ex-wife. I met her. Yeah.
At Bahama Bay.
Yeah. Well, we met at the 5 spot, and then,
Okay. Look at that.
yeah.
So when it comes to like the way that the programming was done at Urban Expressions, was that always like the goal, or did you guys come up with something like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and as time went by, you start seeing movement. You say, oh, you know what? We just gonna change to this.
Can you, not to interrupt. Can you finish your list before you?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
my
yeah.
list,
Sorry,
my
sorry,
list.
sorry.
I'm gonna say Music Soul Child.
Okay,
Music
okay.
Soul Child. Always not based on interviews, but based on like Music Soul Child. Like I would be in New York and I could see. Matter of fact, my girl Tasha over there. I see Music Soul Child on the marquee, right? And I said I'm gonna get in there. I said I don't know what I'm gonna do. I got a whole squad with me, and I'm gonna get in there. And I told Tasha, my girlfriend Tasha, went down, and I said, tell them I'm here, and went back to the back. You said let them in. Me and my squad.
what's up. That's
like
what's up.
you can't like. It's like wait a minute. Thank you.
Yo,
Thank you.
I'm gonna
Thank
tell you this, right?
Looking out for Philly.
I remember just a quick story of Music Soul Child and I getting a chance to like formally meet each other because we were on the same labels and stuff like that. And we from Philly, and you know we just got the same type of people. One of my close friends, Carvin Hagens, works with him religiously in the beginning. But I saw him in the airport with his wife from 702. And I looked at him, and I was stuck because his music, and he knew who I was, and it's probably from Urban Expressions that a lot of people know each other in Philly. Like before you could put faces to the CDs and music, you had to watch Urban Expressions to even figure out who people were. You know, people would walk up on me and think I was Lava because Lava said "Smooth Thug with the good hair." You know what I'm saying? They didn't know who we were. So okay, now you at number 4 on your
was
list,
4,
right? Now the last one. I didn't mean to put it in 5 like only 5 people matter.
No,
but
no,
I just
they
wanted to know
don't.
the ones that stuck out to you.
You know, the only thing that, like I said, it was all about relationships. Let me see. The next one I would have to say, who else is good to my spirit? I like spiritual people, like people. I don't know who that 5th one is. It's all about relationships. I mean, the Roots, of course.
Oh wow.
The Roots was always once again in New York. Look on the marquee. We just in New York doing whatever we do, looking at marquees, walking down the street like the Roots is there. Think we can get in? Yeah, let's go. Urban Expressions outside. There you go. They let us in.
That's
you know,
what's up.
I just believe in the people who that will give back, and it's not like it's not like yo take. They will give back, and it's like thank you.
The good people,
I
right?
appreciate you. I'm all about good people, and it's way more than 5 because it's been a long career. Talking 1992, and this is 2024. So there's no way for me to possibly remember everybody, but my heart just loves who it loves. Just them as a people.
So you got a chance to see that the name and the brand was holding weight. If you seeing people on marquees and you walking up to the door like Urban Expressions out here, and they like, they said come on in.
For sure,
So
for
you
sure.
see the
That
name
name,
holding
that name
weight.
meant something, yeah.
Oh yeah. We saw it back then. It was, and even now, I would use it whenever I have an opportunity because it is significant to this culture. Like you got to understand. You mentioned Ralph McDaniels, and he gets way more. And I love Ralph. He's my mentor.
Right,
like when
right.
I have a question, I'm like, how you do this? I mean, literally, he is that person for me. But he does get more love in New York than we get here.
You definitely do.
He gets more like money thrown at him, more opportunities thrown at him, just based off of who he is, and that has always been a hurt. Sometimes I'm like, y'all got on. Come back. Like, you got on. Remember how you
Right.
got on.
Yeah.
Remember, like,
Right.
when there was nobody else putting you on, we was there. Look back. How do you know I don't need a bone? How do you know I don't need this? How do you
Right.
not
You won't
know?
know unless you reach back.
Yeah, reach back.
And
And people ask me all the time,
And that's
Well,
why I made it, not to cut you off, that's why I made it my business to have you on, because I'm looking at like the other podcasts and I see everybody got Ralph McDaniel and they talking about how important it was to New York, and you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm like, yo, I feel the same way about
let's
Urban
find out what's
Expressions.
important to us.
Right, so we got to show our people love, you know what I'm saying? So
And
that's
we
why I'm saying I
focused over
appreciate
here at It Was All a Dream
No doubt.
podcast on the culture. So Siege, go ahead, rock out with your question because you finished that list up, baby. We ain't forget
I'm
about
sorry.
you.
No, that's fine.
No, we ain't
No,
forget about you.
I
No, we
definitely wanted to hear that list.
Yeah,
so.
we definitely wanted to get that list out.
Yeah, so,
Definitely.
so my question just was, as far as the program, because this is early, y'all are basically pioneering something. Did you and your team have like a special business model that y'all were going on? Okay, we're gonna do interviews, this, and this, or did you kind of just organically start doing some stuff, and then as you picked up more volume, and again that clout started coming, oh, people know us. Did you kind of just ride that wave?
Well, Ed Brunson's a scientific mind, so he had a whole format, and he had to follow the format. But and you were live. We were the first and only live. Like LL stops by, like we're live right in the station. LL, Ja Rule, we're stopping live. So then we were the only live format type of show. But then it was like, we got to do something different. We got to go hit the streets. And so Ed was like, let's hit the streets. So when we hit the streets, then it was like more of a fluent, we can go fluid and do whatever we needed to do, because I'm thinking, all right, we in these streets, so where the money at? That's my thought. It's always to me.
Right, but that's what it's supposed to be.
Where the money at? So where's the money at? Okay, here's this barbershop. We gonna come into, put the word on the street at your barbershop. You gonna pay us to advertise, and we started that trend of going into barbershops.
That was brilliant, though.
Going into
brilliant idea.
I came up with this thing. It was called the Urban Infomercial. I would go sell it. Listen, we're gonna bring the superstars of urban expressions to your facility, and it's going to be the best. I mean, I'm a code switcher, so I would be like this 1 minute. I'd be like, yo, 1 minute, and the next minute I'm like, yes. But what we need to do is do this, and our numbers are this, and how you need to do this is what we're gonna do. We're going to reach a wide demographic of people. Would you like to advertise on our show? And here's our prices. I will code switch on you in a minute so I can get that money. So I was going up into places like different car dealerships. So I heard Wallow talking about he went to the car dealership. I was like, yo, we did that. That's what we used to do.
Right.
We used to go to the car. And I came in and I just sold it. I would go into any store and just sell it, John. Like, listen, would you like us to come in here? Yeah. And then one of the City Blue, they came in, and I sold him, and then he saw me do the word on the street. He was like, what is the person that was just in my office? I said, my bad, it's a different person when I put the camera up.
You said City Blue, though.
I did.
What about the net? Uzi at the net on Market Street. Ooh.
Yeah, we got them all.
So that segment of the show, you actually produced that segment of the show, correct?
Word on the Street? Yeah, that was my first thing that I produced. So I went from the intern to the assistant. That's not my role. But I went to the assistant and realized that wasn't for me. Right. And then I went to producer of the segment Word on the Street, which was the most popular segment on the whole entire show. Yeah. Period, hands down. The numbers didn't lie.
Well, we heard you say a lot of things that were great glory stories, right? Mm-hmm. What were some of the rough times in the beginning?
Rough times, we didn't, even though we were making money, it had to be split amongst a whole bunch of people. So we living in the, everybody struggling. There was definitely some struggle days because we splitting it. That's who we are. We're not going to be like, I could have been like, oh, they ain't even got to know this is my thing, right? I could have done that. But I was like, one for you, maybe 3, 4, 5 for me. And say, you got to be real. 5 for me, maybe 6 for Ed. So we had times that we were struggling. And then at times, the station was underwater. It was in Manayunk, so the station flooded under 5 feet of water. So if you said to me, where's the footage? It's in water. It got flooded, and we
y'all lost all of the footage?
That's crazy.
Talk about a hurt piece. I would be rich right now.
Listen. Oh my God.
I'm talking
my
millions.
Heart just broke just now. You lost.
Your heart broke. Do you know how much? You talk about
footage God, bring it back.
You talk about Jay-Z when he first started. You talking about everybody.
Yeah, y'all probably had. When Hove called me on the stage at certain shows. Oh, Lord.
Everything. You talking about
Elizabeth,
money.
So y'all couldn't do
we couldn't do like
video music box.
We couldn't do like in archive the stuff because the stuff went underwater.
Oh,
so then here we go. We had some stuff that went underwater because of the station, and then Ed's house burned down. So whatever was left was at Ed's house, and it burned down. So then we had a little more stuff at the other boy house, and he went to jail. And when you go to jail, they take your stuff. They don't go clean out your house or whatever. Right. So there went that stuff. So there's our stuff.
And what year was this?
this was year after year. Something would happen. Something would happen with our footage. Or something would happen. We would be literally, people always ask me, well, I'm going to pay for this. I'm going to pay for this. But, I don't really want to sell too much things because somebody called and asked me for some Kevin Hart footage. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, no, I'm not giving. I'm not selling out for nobody.
Right.
I don't need money that bad to give you this footage that was something that we worked hard for. And plus, it was the Charlie Mack event. And, Charlie Mack, my brother. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's my
Salute to Charlie
brother,
Mack, the big
brother
bro.
for life. So I'm not going to offend nobody. So I was like,
So, a question: how did y'all all the music videos y'all played? How did y'all get all of those music videos? Like,
record companies.
Okay.
We was not record companies.
No, it became a part of the package. Like once you sign a deal and you had to do your run, your
Right.
press run, Urban Expressions was on that list.
That's
and
dope.
that's what I loved about how big my city was becoming, because when you look at your run and you look at all of like Mad Skills and VA, Ludacris was on the radio before he became the artist that he was. So you would go do interviews with these people, and it's like, even to see, to have Luda on a single of mine, it was like dope, because I remember doing an interview with him. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, y'all, man, I'm still tripping that my sister's sitting next to me after all these years and we still moving.
We still moving.
Still
Like,
moving.
y'all, I don't know anybody out there you watching, you just really don't understand. When you come from a place and you watch us all grow up, we like literally grew up, and we grew up in the public eye. It wasn't like we growing up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Grew up in the public eye, but the thing is, we still here. We still doing it. We still relevant as the word they want to say. No matter what, we going to still do what we do.
Right. So speaking of that, let's get into the now. Let's get into your book, Interview Your Way to Instagram Growth. Let's talk about that. What made you do basically a novel, as they would say?
Well, so I've been switching from media and like, it was a natural transition to do social media, but I can't even give myself credit for that. It was Rockstar P, Rockstar P.
Yeah,
you know,
salute to the
I gotta
Rockstar.
give Rockstar P, which is the youngest one of all of us, but he was like, you should get in social media. I was like, nah, I don't do this because it's gonna take away from television. He was like, you should do social media. So he went in and set up my accounts and stuff. I'm like, no. But then once I got in it, once I saw what social media was, and then I'm like doing it, I'm building relationships. I built a whole another TV show called Single on a Saturday Night based off of just social
I saw
media,
that.
meeting people, becoming friends with them. And I was like, this social media thing is beautiful. And I said, God, I really prayed. That was a prayer. It was like, God, I love social media. I want to make money doing it. And then the next week, I got a call from one of our sponsors from Urban Expressions, one of the biggest sponsors. My first sponsorship deal from this one company was $18,000, literally. And I'm gonna say to y'all, I'm not gonna say the name, but it's a yellow building with the red writing, and it has the big shout, right? So that was
We ain't gonna get into it, but yeah, that's a bag that's a bag-a-roni.
It was a bag, but I kept all that under tuck because I didn't want nobody thinking I was like one of them people that brag on things. But now we got to. You got to tell where you came from. So because we worked so much during the years, they came to me. It's like, let's go out to lunch, and I'm like, the owner, the CEO said, well, I'll take you out to breakfast. I said, sure. So I'm sitting down there, and they like, would you like to come on the inside and work in the inside and do social media? I just said, so you talking about now? There was another bag. There was an offer I could not refuse, and it came with a car and everything. It was
wow.
It was like, okay, to do social media, the thing I just said I'm so glad I love, and that's where social media came in. So Interview Your Way to Instagram Growth was based on me learning everything I could during my run at the particular building, learning everything I can, and I just do it for a living. I got clients like the people who sell the wings and stuff. Just big clients. You know what I mean? I ain't promoting nobody. That's why I'm not saying them. Unless they're giving us a check, right? Gotta get a check. See, I'm about that money.
For sure,
So
for sure. When can they get this novel at?
So it's available on Amazon.com. It is available. Interview Your Way to Instagram Growth. This is for anybody who wants to get in the podcast and anything like that, and they need to learn how to do it. There you go.
Are you also doing consultation on how to do these things?
I do. I have a master class. It's called Relationships to Revenue, and I have coaching program. And shout out to my students. Like literally, I'm in this world of speaking and coaching. That's where I am now.
How do people get in your class?
They have to go to relationshipstorevenue.com, or I always tell people to go to Instagram. Why? Because I want to grow my Instagram. So
Right.
at Shelly Shell Williams is always where I'm gonna send people.
So in reference to the story that you was telling about, the ups and downs of the business, and with one of the names, one of the words in the name of the title is growth. How do you, for the listeners that might be in their business and they having those tough times, what advice do you have to them to say, hey, listen, I had those tough times and look where I'm at now. This is how you get through it.
Woo, tough times, and repos, bankruptcy. We done been through it all. But if you give up, that's your problem. I ain't never given up. You better understand. I ain't never given up. My next in August, I'm going to get my doctorate degree. Literally,
Nice.
I'm getting a doctorate degree. I ain't
Nice.
never
Yes,
given up.
congratulations.
So what I did was learn more. I said, I'm going to invest. If I don't have no money, if I can't get $100 from all my friends to give me some money to take a course or to do something, I got a problem. I got enough friends with a lot of money that should be able to give me money. So I took some courses. I elevated myself constantly. I take courses, coaches all day long. If you struggling, that's because you want to struggle. That's because you don't want to put yourself in the place or the places, the rooms, and everywhere you got to go to make that money, because it's not possible to struggle that long. You got friends. If they can't give you money to do what you got to do to put your business in place, I'm sorry.
They ain't your
You ain't
friends.
your friends. They not.
They are enablers. That's what we call them. If they're not going to help you get right, they enabling you to get better.
That's the facts. That's true facts. I mean, and I'm sorry for you, but I'm telling you, you don't have to struggle. Now, there's a moment, that's when you're stuck in your wherever you are. Sometimes we get stuck in our insecurities, our doubts. We get stuck where we are. But you got to come out of it. You got to stop. You got to be sick and tired of being stuck. And you got to say, listen, I know I want to be a 2 comma club. That's where I'm at. That's where I want to be, right? 2 comma club.
Right.
Let's
Talk
go.
that talk.
Right? So I'm on that path.
Talk, Shell. Yeah, we can talk the 2 comma club.
2 comma
I'm feeling
club.
that.
Let's go.
I'm feeling
I'm
that.
not going to stay where I was. I know I struggled, and I'm not going to ever tell you that I didn't struggle. Bankruptcy. I remember with my house, I was like, dang, I'm about to lose my house. And I went to one of them rich people that I'm talking about, and they was like, oh, I thought you was better than that. Oh, you just said the wrong thing to me. I am better than that. Let me get this together. Let me figure this out, right? Let me go to the people I know. So I got some real friends that be like, yo, let me get this. Let me hold this. Let me get this. Let me do. And we put that money together and we did what I got to do. I saved my house. I saved my car with the friends that I got. And I said, I ain't gonna never be here again, right? That's what I said to you. No, I ain't never gonna be here again. Paid my car off. My house is almost paid off. I got the courses I got. You know what I mean?
That's
But thank you
what's
for
up.
those friends who believed in me and say, oh, I got you.
So I would like to piggyback off that real quick, because the the theme that I'm getting from this conversation that you spoke about since you started is relationships. Can you please just give our audience like how important are relationships to you and the work that you've been doing and the work you're going to continue to do?
Let me tell you something. It's about that person sitting next to you right here. It's the person that I'm just, even though I met them, but I'm getting to know you. It's about everybody we know has an ability to elevate you. So I love people, and I want to add value to the people's lives that I know. So I connect with them. I don't just connect with them because I need anything, because I don't need anything. I'm connecting with you because I genuinely like you. I genuinely want to love you, and I genuinely want to see you win. So I connect people, I pull people together, and I don't mind putting you on as long as you don't use me, because there's some people out there will use you. You know who it is.
Right.
You know who they is.
So,
right?
so Miss Shelly Shell, we have a segment in our podcast called "What Had Happened Was."
Oh, wow.
Right.
So you tell your little story. I mean, you ain't got to say no names,
I tell it. No, I'm just kidding.
but just the wildest thing you seen as far as what happened, something that happened, experience with a celebrity. Yeah, I mean, the wildest things you've seen. You ain't gotta say their names.
All right, let me think. The wildest thing. I don't know if it's wild, but we was at the Outkast concert, and they had us sitting there all night to do this interview, right? And I was just like pissed because I was sitting there, I'm tired. And then they kept saying, we can't go record nothing. We can't do nothing. We just got to sit and wait for him. And so by the time I got tired, I started making dumb decisions. And I was like, go sneak and do it. And I know, I'm an authority. So I said, go sneak and do it. Go do it. So they get out there, they record it, and the security came down on us like, and it was like, give me the tape, give me the tape, give it to me, give me the tape. And so while the whole time, he's like, we ain't do nothing. So the whole time, Howard down there erasing it and recording the floor. So he was like, let me see. So by the time we finished it, because I'm talking like, no, but I'm giving my talk, I got to give you my,
right.
I got to convince you not to get the tape, So I was like, he gave me the eye, like it was ready. So we get the eye, and then he's like, see, we ain't got nothing. I told you we ain't do nothing. Man, give me the tape. That's all. Give me the tape, Tori.
So what had happened was y'all guerrilla marketed something real fast. They got what y'all needed.
You had me sitting there for hours like I'm a human being. I'm tired.
No, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I do. That's
You
what I
gotta do what
felt.
you gotta do.
I mean, I know it was just a tired decision, and I got everybody in trouble because he was on it with the tape. He was tall, security, big boy.
Right.
And he like, give me the tape, give me the tape, and I'm like, what?
So what they say, chances make champions. So sometimes you gotta take the
got it done.
chance.
Got it done.
And to have a story about, I don't know if it was Billboard or somebody that coined them the best hip hop group of all time.
Yeah.
So to know you have a story about who's considered the best hip hop group of all time, no matter if you got the footage or not, that's like major. A lot of people can't say they had that.
No, we don't got the footage, but we do got the awards. Well, no, we lost most of the awards, but we won Billboard 4 times, 4 awards from Billboard magazine as the #1 video show, and we got 1 award. I hit it, I tucked it.
Billboard, send them redo their awards and send it to them, man. Y'all got money, Billboard.
That would be
Resend
nice.
them their awards. They deserved it.
I got a picture with my head cut off. But I hate people that can't take pictures right. Why they do that? He took a picture with my head cut off. Who did it? Why they do that? You know who you was. Why you do it?
Shame on you.
Jeez, right? They gonna mess up my memories.
No,
Yeah,
but
that's crazy.
it's crazy because these kids, they had never experienced like what we experienced in the 90s and the 2000s, waiting for certain videos to come on, like the thrill of that, the feeling when you see your favorite video come on. Like Urban Expressions, man. I used to,
Or the video parties, like them taping the video parties. I'm, 1990.
What was the club?
Yeah,
929 or something like that?
923.
923.
That was on Erie Avenue, right?
Yeah.
On Erie Avenue.
No, Gerard.
No, we had Erie Avenue.
Y'all had Erie
we
Ave.
had the club
Right.
on Erie. That was called Club UX. We had,
Yeah.
you was there.
Club Urban
You was
Expressions.
there.
Yeah.
I think I got a picture.
Yeah,
It was blurry,
I think
though.
you know what's so crazy.
It's
I
blurry.
think we had either just got our Cadillacs or our Jaguars at the time, but no, we had the Cadillacs back then, and I remember us having they had just released the new body style Benzes that we got and Cadillacs, and I remember Spade was like, "Yo, we got to go up Erie Avenue to go to Club Urban Expressions the night we performing the night up there." And when we got up there, it'd be a lituation every time because they
1,000
already
kids.
done promoted 1,000 of your peers.
Yeah,
though. 'Cause
yeah,
you gotta remember,
yeah.
we still was kids
Right,
at the time.
right.
So it's like,
But that was dope because they could never have that now. Like,
no, it's getting
Oh,
shut
I
up.
wouldn't even do it now.
Shoot,
Like,
they be like this.
AK-45.
You have more security than you have.
Shot everything.
You have more security than you have people at the party.
Fucking the door.
500
and
security
shot,
guards.
fuck up everything. bro.
exactly. You ain't no way that, I loved it though. You know what I mean? I loved having that outlet. You
Oh,
know,
that was dope.
It was but it was amazing to be able to teach. Not only that, they got them Wallies or whatever. If I had a
Yeah.
child today, I would not let my child have gone. If I know when I know, I would. I'm like, oh, dang, they got a
Well,
whole
we
bunch
snuck in most of the places to get a Wally.
they got They got the whole bunch of butt prints in the wall. They don't bust out the wall because they getting them Wallies. And I was
Now, you
like,
gotta remember the type of jeans we
Yep,
wore back
dye.
then. You lean up
Wow.
against the wall, the dye come clean out them.
See, they got a song called. They had a song
me a
called "Give Me a
Wally,
Wally."
give me a
right?
Wally.
Yeah, I remember that.
them Wallies was
I ain't never heard
serious.
you Wally.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
It is.
Give me a Wally and shout out.
But that was everything to get the wall for them. And I was like, yo, but
Well,
if
you be hard as a calculus to get a Wally. You think you done got some. Wally, you think your virginity
You're right.
took. They done
Right.
cooked it.
because they done pounded you to, oh my
Right.
gosh. But now I'm telling you, if I know what I know now, I probably would not have been able to promote it. But I was young and you know, like I said, the money, you know, not just about the money, but it was about the kids. We taught them a lot of things. We taught them TV. Rockstar P wouldn't be here. Frankie J, Furno traveled the world with DJ Jazzy Jeff.
That's dope.
Started at Urban Expressions. Like, dang, we put some people in place, and that was all I needed. That's all I want to. Also, all I want to do is help people, and they did it.
So, before we close out, right? What do you think of the state of hip hop now, since you've been in it since 1992?
Over 30 years.
Over 30 years.
I'm 21.
What do you think of the state of hip hop now?
Wow. You know, it's different because I'm not literally into hip hop anymore. Not that I'm not into
Well,
it.
you know what? I'll
I'm
rephrase it. The state of the music business.
It's the state of the music business. I think I love the possibilities, and I'm gonna say it like that. Like, there's so many possibilities. Like, I'm gonna write a song right now. I can't even sing, but I'm gonna do it because the possibilities. Because nobody can tell me no.
Endless.
That's because nobody goes. My song, I got a track. It's about to come out for real. I'm not even lying to you. This not even just no cat for real. I got a song that I can't sing. I can't write, but I'm having a song because the possibilities are there. Because nobody can tell me I can't play this on my platform.
Right.
And guess what? I'm going to play it, and you gonna hear it, and you be like, that girl, does she really do that? She can't even sing. But it's going to sound like I can sing because I'm going to put some stuff underneath of it. Bah, bah, bah.
And we got AI now. You can sound like Mariah Carey if you want.
AI makes
You know what I'm saying?
Anybody
right.
want to be.
It's
So,
Exactly.
hold on. Because the youth doesn't know too much about Urban Expressions, even though you guys still have
don't.
Urban Expression News Mag right now. Will there be like a documentary series, or will there be some type of something that will let the children understand, even though y'all lost so much footage, do
Right,
y'all
I was
still
gonna
have
say that.
enough to show them
We do.
what it was like when you could go out in Philly?
We got some VHS tapes from people. I need them people to give up them VHS tapes. So Nas did a documentary for Ralph McDaniels.
Right.
So I'm waiting
Massive
for someone, like, people have been, I need the best offer because I've heard it. People like, yeah, we need to do that documentary, but they're not the right people. I need the right people to say, let's collaborate, let's do it. Because Nas, once again, did a documentary
Right.
for Ralph McDaniels. And I'm like, well, where Oz at? You
Well, I'm
know?
gonna start calling people out now. Charlie Mack, what's up with that budget, man? Will Smith, what's up with that budget, man?
Yeah, Charlie can make it happen.
Oh, you
Definitely
know
can make it
what?
happen.
Come on.
Meek, what up, though?
Charlie,
Come on,
Mack.
what's
And
going on?
Uzi.
Make it happen.
I mean,
Whoever.
Uzi, I mean,
Yeah,
come
you
on,
gotta
can we
show some
get
love to the
an Urban
pioneers,
Expressions
seriously.
doc, Gillian Wallow? Can we get something
Facts.
going on?
Facts.
I mean, come on now. I mean,
Yeah.
let's not let our children not know the history that was provided
Facts.
by Urban Expressions.
And if Nas did it for Ralph and y'all was on Urban Expressions too, why?
Oh, wow, listen, if it's up to me, count me in.
Yeah, I'm
count
waiting
me
for
in.
the best offer. You know, Charlie is. I couldn't talk to Charlie. I could ask him, but I don't want to ask because I don't know if Ralph asked.
Because think about it, you don't really need all that footage. You can just do a lot of interviews with people who perform,
Right.
perform there. You know what I'm saying? People you
And you
interview
ain't
in
got
the
to ask
past.
y'all. I'm asking.
Right.
Will Smith, Kevin Hart, let's get this drink popping.
Yeah, Kevin. I'm with that. Kevin's
Yeah,
always been a
yeah.
friend to the
saying?
show. I would have said he was one of my favorites. He's a good favorite, but
They
he
got
ain't,
like 2-3 million somewhere sitting around.
yeah, he ain't keep in touch.
just
Like, you
sitting
should have
around.
kept in touch, Kevin.
Right,
You know what I mean? Come on, Kevin. No, I mean,
We
if
love all y'all, but you know.
Definitely.
whoever, you know what I mean? Let's do this. Like, I'm saying, you not understanding. We was reaching millions before this social media, and I don't understand why if maybe you saying to me that it's true that Philly don't support Philly, but I don't believe that.
Right.
I believe it's like if Nas can do it for Ralph and Video Music Box, then someone here in Philly should say, let's do this. Let me collaborate with Shelly Shell and get this done because Urban Expressions really did put everybody on.
And
When
like
it
you
was
said,
on
y'all
TV,
reach.
My bad.
fault.
But
Like
when
you
it
said-
was on TV, right?
Right.
How far did it
I was
reach
going
out?
to say that.
Yeah, that's
the
what I
same
wanted
question.
to know. Like, what was the reach of the station? How far could you watch it?
Because we know it was a tri-state
it was a
area, like
tri-state.
Delaware,
It was tri-state,
Jersey.
so it was Philly, Jersey, Delaware, a little part of Maryland.
Wow, I didn't even know it was.
Yeah, so we were on a broadcast station. We wasn't on public access. We were on a broadcast station reaching millions. Like, our numbers was really, really high. We had
You know
some good
what?
numbers.
DJ
crazy.
Crazy did say something about like he would watch. Like,
Yeah.
Maryland,
as a
right.
It probably was probably a little fuzzy, but you know,
Yeah,
it
but
was
I
it
mean,
reached.
hey,
Everything was fuzzy.
It was
Right,
right.
wasn't it though? Like it really was fuzzy.
Everything.
I remember my TV was fuzzy
Right.
sometimes. I'd be like this, man, I'd be holding the fucking
Yeah.
antenna
Had a
myself
hanger
at
and all
mom's
that.
crib.
Exactly.
You know, yeah, I remember some people, if you didn't have a cable box, right? And I remember Wade Cable.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right. I
remember
yeah,
Wade.
Wade
Analog
Cable.
TV.
Wade Cable. And sometimes you got to turn to channel 260 to get 48. But
Yeah.
shit, we found it.
We found
We like
it.
this all night.
Remember you had
Button
the
this
cable box,
fucking
you had to
big.
press the button down.
So I
Bro.
remember it was y'all. It was Urban Expression. It was like Channel 7 or something like that. That had another
Channel
video
7
show.
came after us, right? Yeah.
Right.
So 48 and then Channel 7. So we were on there as well. You know,
Okay.
you gotta diversify. You know what I'm saying? No, but you do.
Right,
you got
exactly.
to go all over the place, and that's the goal. The goal was to be on whatever, so everybody could see it. But actually, Channel 48 was a powerhouse. Like it was knocking with the big ones. It really was. The numbers was knocking with the big ones. But you believe it or not, there was some people, literally our people, who would discredit us or wouldn't give us that shine that we needed. I'm like, yo, we reaching more. Like we are your audience. Are you kidding me? But because we was, low
Yeah,
power.
we ain't surprised. We see how it is now with
You-
social network and all that. People, man, our people be going against us. We got to stop that.
Yeah, it is. It's a couple, but thank you for those who did. Thank you to those that did. I love y'all. Like I love people. So let's make this happen. Cause we still here. We ain't going nowhere. I ain't quitting.
Not at all. So make sure y'all like, subscribe, and tune into every episode. And this episode, It Was All a Dream, was brought to you by Urban Expressions News Mag. We'll holler at y'all on the next episode. You dig?
Word, y'all. Thank y'all
Yes.
so much. I appreciate it.